What's up, everybody? It's Quinn here for today's episode. I guess you could say, I don't know, it's not really a TV show, but we can call it an episode. Alright, for today's episode, y'all, for our mythology bit, I'm going to read to you a story called The Devil and the Blacksmith. Now, The Devil and the Blacksmith is the oldest fairy tale in the world. It's in every culture, every language. It has its roots way back in like Indo-European dialect and Indo-European stories that were passed down by word of mouth and like whatever small amount of writings they could find on the subject. It's a very interesting story. I don't know, so let's dive into it, y'all. Alright, so first part we're going to read about of it is the blacksmith's humble abode. In a small village hugged by the vast trees of a dense forest lived Jean, a blacksmith known for his kind heart and diligent hands. His home was as warm as the glow from his forge, where day in, day out, the sound of his hammer striking metal rang out like music across the rooftops. Smoke curled up from his chimney, painting pictures in the sky, while inside the orange light from the fire danced on the walls, making shadows play. The arrival of the devil. On a day unlike any other, a mysterious figure, none other than the devil in disguise, wandered into the village. Dressed as a traveler, he made his way straight to Jean's forge, or Jean. I'm not even sure how you would say his name. It's Jean. I assume it's like Jean or Jean, probably Jean. Drawn by the clanging of metal and the promise of warmth, with only a sly grin, he asked John to craft him a pair of iron horseshoes, pledging a reward so generous it can make anyone's eyes sparkle with interest. The bargain. Jean, though taken aback by the wanderer's request, saw an opportunity, not just to gain, but for a bit of cleverness as well. He agreed to forge the horseshoes, but on one condition: that the peculiar guest promise not to harm him or claim the soul of any villager as his payment. With a chuckle that seemed to echo off the walls of the forge, the devil nodded in agreement, amused and perhaps a bit surprised by the blacksmith's boldness. The villagers' fear. News about the visitors spread like wildfire through the village. Folks gathered in hushed circles, whispered about the stranger at Jean's forge. That's no ordinary traveler, one would say, eyes with worry. Mark my words, trouble's afoot, another claimed, shaking his head. Despite Jean's reassurances, tales of the devil's trickery danced on every tongue, casting a shadow of fear over the once peaceful hamlet. Kids clung to their parents, eyes brimming with curiosity and unease. "Mama, will the devil really take someone away?" they'd ask, seeking comfort in the arms of their loved ones. Elders recounted old stories by the hearth, cautioning that dealings with such beings often came at a great cost. Yet, amidst the growing dread, Jean worried tirelessly, hammering away with a great resolve that seemed to light up his forge brighter than ever before. The blacksmith's courage. Jean, upon hearing the whispers and upon feeling the weight of countless eyes upon him, found his resolve unshaken. "A deal's a deal," he muttered to himself, focusing on the task at hand. His hands, rough and seasoned from years of toil, moved with a precision that spoke volumes of his skill and determination. As he laid the final touches on the horseshoes, a sense of pride swelled within him, not just for the craftsmanship, which was indeed exceptional, but for standing firm in his convictions. With a confident stride, he approached the devil, extending the finished horseshoes. "As promised," Jean declared, his voice steady and strong. The devil, taken aback by the blacksmith's unwavering convictions, by his unwavering courage, accepted the horseshoes with a nod of respect. In that moment, the air seemed to shift, as if acknowledging the significance of their exchange. The devil's departure. With the transaction complete, the devil prepared to leave the village. Villagers peered from beyond closed doors, holding their breath, awaiting the outcome of this uncanny visit. To their amazement, the devil simply tipped his hat to Jean, a gesture so human that it momentarily softened their fear and their weary of the man that had gripped their hearts for so long. Jean, standing alone in the quiet of his forge, found a peculiar object where the devil had stood, a small, intricately carved token. It shimmered in the moonlight, a symbol of the strange visitor's gratitude, a promise of a good fortune. As word of the devil's departure spread, relief washed over the village, and whispers of fear turned into exclamations of wonder and gratitude. The village's gratitude. After the devil had left, villagers came from every corner, their hearts full of joy and relief. They gathered around Jean, clapping, yeah, cheering for him as he protected them all with his wit and his bravery. And in no time, a feast was prepared in the village square, with tables laden with fresh bread, ripe cheese, and sweet fruits from the nearby forest. Children danced around Jean, their laughter echoing under the moonlit sky. As elders shared stories of bravery from their youth, Jean, standing tall among his fellow villagers, felt a warmth in his heart, knowing that he had kept his home safe. That night, Jean's courage would be remembered for the ages, a testament to strength found in unity and trust. Let me get a drink. Mouth's getting dry. I don't want to get sued, so I took a sip off screen. Don't want to say what it was. It's not alcohol, though. Don't worry. I don't drink alcohol. Alright, the power of faith. In the days that followed, Jean's story spread far and wide, becoming a beacon of hope for those who heard it. Parents told their children about the blacksmith who outsmarted the devil, emphasizing the power of faith and courage to stand up for what's right. Teachers in the village used this tale as a lesson in ethics, showcasing how Jean's steadfast belief in his values had protected the entire village. Even on dark, stormy nights, when the wind howled like the devil at the door, families felt a little braver, a little stronger, knowing that faith could light the darkness, and even in the darkest of times. Jean's story became a symbol of hope, teaching that courage and faith are mightier than fear. The enduring legacy. Years passed, and Jean's forge remained a place of legend within the village. Long after Jean had set down his hammer for the last time, parents still recounted his tale to wide-open children, instilling in them in the village, the values of bravery, faith, and integrity. The blacksmith's legacy lived on, not just in the stories shared beside crackling fires, but in the hearts of all who believed in the power of good over evil. Dunking on them evil mother. Okay. Where am I at? As seasons changed and the years turned into decades, the tale of the blacksmith and the devil continued to inspire. A timeless reminder that even in the face of daunting challenges, one's spirit and faith can forge a path to victory. Is that it? Oh yeah, we did it. And that was The Devil and the Blacksmith, y'all. That it's one of my favorite stories of all time. Like it may seem pretty simplistic, but it's quite literally the first fairy tale ever told. The oldest one. A bunch of others branched off and even came from that one. And I think what the moral of the story is when you're dealing with power, especially unknown power, you must take cautionary steps in dealing with that power, lest it destroy you and yours. You know. So that's all I got for today, ladies and gentlemen. Stay healthy, stay wealthy, stay wise, and catch me next time on here. I appreciate y'all. Peace.